No, but do you think you could be quiet for 5 minutes right now?
Do you think what?
Do you think you could just sit here and be quiet for 5 minutes?
Well, if I had to, yeah. It's great podcast content.
Thank you for tuning in. What we're going to do first is take a moment of silence for the presidents.
We're going to do 30 seconds for all 51? Is it 51?
Yeah, so you don't get a whole second, each president.
Or am I... Is it? That's not right, is it? No, it's not 51. It's 46.
Yeah, it's 40s.
Yeah, 46.
51 was
That was
another year.
Yeah.
Was it? No, it was another
46
number.
presidents. Right?
Do you know how many presidents there are?
I thought that it was 40.
It's 46.
Like in the 40s.
46.
But when you said 51, I believe
Sounds good, right? Yeah.
Donald Trump was the 45th. Joe Biden's the 46th.
Alexa, how many presidents are there?
Despite President Joe Biden being inaugurated as the 46th president of
46.
There you go.
Yeah.
40s.
only 45 people have served as presidents. This is due to President Grover Cleveland serving 2 non-consecutive terms as the 22nd and 24th presidents.
So he doesn't get counted in the numbers.
Until he finishes his presidency.
No. Did you hear that? About Glover? Is that his name? Grover Cleveland? Yeah, he didn't serve 2 consecutive terms, so they don't count it
Donald
twice.
Trump didn't serve 2
So there's only
consecutive
been
terms.
46 presidents.
Yeah, well, Donald Trump
Technically.
Donald Trump didn't serve 2 consecutive terms. He only served 1.
No, 2 non-consecutive, I mean.
Oh, I get what you're saying. So, like, he was
So
the
he was
president,
like 24 and 26.
and then he was like someone else's president, and then he was president again. Gotcha.
And they didn't count him, so like technically there's only been so many presidents.
Gotcha.
Even though there's so many presidential terms, it's one less because there's a double.
That makes sense.
And so this is a good preface to, this is the Caffeine episode. It's the new Caffeine series.
Caffeine.
What we've done is we've taken into our bodies as much caffeine as possible.
To the limit.
To the limit. We're absolutely limited.
Push it to the limit. One more time.
And then it turned into just having espressos to having espresso martinis. And so we've been doing that also.
So do you want the churro cinnamon or the hazelnut?
He wanted a churro.
I want
churro.
churro cinnamon. Sounds
Churro.
good. A little sweet. A little cinnamony.
Well, let's hear.
Clankers and
Yeah,
makers.
dude, we've got the silly straws because this is a silly series. But it's a great series because I think caffeine is the number 1 drug in the world, right?
I think you're right.
It's also the first episode we haven't had a beer.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, we're on coffee.
We're growing and we're growing up.
We're going cold brew and cream.
Yeah, we got the cold brew here. We've got
I do
the
have...
espresso already down.
It was good.
Still trying to down it.
Yeah, she's over there
You're still
working on
trying
the
to down
tail
that?
end of the martini.
You got a little bit of a leftover over there. Still got
Yeah,
Yes.
dude, to-go box.
Damn, that's a hell of a
Yeah.
to-go box. It's a to-go glass. You show up with that thing and drink it, you're just going to the moon.
Honestly, man,
Hi.
I feel like I'm on the moon right now.
Yeah?
My body's humming. I can feel the vibrations, like in the movie, the NASCAR vibrations, like in Step Brothers. Isn't that what it is? No, it's in Ricky Bobby.
Yeah. Talladega Nights.
Yeah, when she can feel the vibrations.
She's like, I can feel the vibrations.
That's me.
Oh, and on my leg. And I love them cars. And he's like, calm her down, calm down.
Calm her down.
I don't feel that, but I do feel pretty intense.
Yeah, the caffeine's
It's
a different
happening.
experience.
Yeah.
You know, end of the day normally is when you would switch from caffeine to like maybe some alcohol or some food or some, you know, other substances. But instead, we decided on this President's Day not to be a sheep. We decided to be
Wolves.
something different. We decided to be one of the people that
Dogs.
run this country. We decided to take some caffeine in.
Yep.
You wonder how much caffeine they drink. to be a politician, you have to be straight all day long.
Caffeine,
You
and
have to be.
I also think it's like a mandatory thing to like do cocaine at least once if you're a politician.
At least once?
Yeah, did you see the one politician?
Like in your life?
Yeah, it's a politician's drug, 100% cocaine. Yeah, it's what all the politicians do. It's it's a secret thing.
Secret society.
They love it. It's high class. They think it's high class.
Hey, to get in the club on your resume, you must have at least one experience with cocaine.
Cocaine.
No, I think they just legit are on some kind of a substance all day long, some kind of an upper.
No, dude, there was a dude caught.
It's called a power high.
Oh yeah,
Power.
they're high on ego.
Oh, they're definitely on that. But
high on power.
to be that intense all day long, 24/7, you got to be on something
Doctor
else.
prescribed Adderall.
Oh, dude, they're on some fucking...
No, for real.
And they sleep like 4 hours a night.
There was like a senator or a House of Representatives, some politician in the United States got caught on his motorcycle. Did you see this?
No.
He like had a high-speed chase, ran away from the cops on a motorcycle because he had like 1.5 grams of cocaine in his shoe.
Damn.
This is our politicians.
I mean, they are people.
Yeah, they're people too.
I mean, they party. They have
ride.
fucking secret society and dark things they do in the night that other people don't. Just like, your other normal people in society. They have probably little weird things they do. But that's the thing, like, their job is to be this, like, squeaky clean persona that represents the municipal or the state or the county or the region or whatever they're representing. And they're supposed to be this person that's never made bad decisions or have never done drugs or has never gotten in trouble. And they play on that persona, 24/7. But at the end of the day, like, no matter who you are, you've, lived life and have done things that you are good and bad. Like, no one's perfect.
But
and I think it would almost like make people relate more to politicians if they were more real about like things.
Yeah.
Like you don't want a guy who likes, you want certain qualities in a politician at this, at the same time, like you don't want some fucking scumbag piece of shit person representing like whatever it is. But at the same time, like
sleazy
they were
money.
kids too.
Yeah.
They were teenagers too. They were college kids too. They were adults too. Like, I mean, what makes you think that this person that you're deciding to elect has not done the same, if not worse, things that you have done?
Right.
Yeah.
And to expect them to be this like saint their whole life,
about
that have been
this?
like,
Maybe
no.
what did I say? 1.5 grams, I think.
Yeah.
The news report just said it was 10 grams. So maybe that's a little
No,
different
that's a
story.
lot.
Right, that's a little different story.
That's a little bit. 1.5 grams is like, hey, we're gonna have
that's
fun.
dog life.
We're gonna have fun.
That's dog life.
Have a nice weekend.
10 grams is like I'm planning, or
and
this
planning
is
events.
like I'm planning ahead. Like I need this. This is something that I need.
I've been planning this for a while.
Yeah.
10 grams is like, yo, this is my
It wasn't like
everyday
I just
routine.
picked this up to have it. It was like
Yeah,
I
God
needed
gave this
this.
to me.
I planned on this.
No, I was in the train station. Guy just gave this to me.
No.
Yeah, I was in the subway and I was sitting there minding my own business listening to my AirPods.
That was in his shoe?
Yeah, in his shoe. It was
That's
on
a
a
lot
motorcycle.
of cocaine.
I know.
It was in his motorcycle.
Like,
How do you put that in your shoe?
It's cocaine sock. It's a sock made out
I
of
was
cocaine.
gonna say it like had to have been like you
Yeah.
don't just put like a wad of that in the side, right?
No, because
I
like
mean,
an
how
8
much-
ball of cocaine is fucking 3.5 grams.
So yeah, he's
I
loaded
mean,
down.
that's, you know what I mean?
He's loaded
Like,
down.
I mean, I don't know. Can you press it? Can it get
You
small?
can boof it.
What's boof?
Put it in your butt.
oh, no.
But it was in his shoe.
It was in a shoe, though.
Yeah, he's like glad they didn't check the
That's
butt.
like putting, I feel like a baseball in your sock.
Yeah, probably.
Maybe he has a special designed shoe, and he just was like, "Oh, that's
Secret
the
shoe.
compartment where the
When it
8 ball,
get when it get like hot down by the motorcycle engine and stuff, you wouldn't want it to get like
And it would get like roasted up.
hot.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, this thing hardened up. Now he's got a damn crack rock.
Would it change?
It's a damn 10-gram crack
Damn
rock.
shoe sole made out of crack.
It's like, ever since he took that trip to DC and came back, he has just been a different person. He's
Yeah,
just like,
he says he works in politics.
he's just gone, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 grams is a lot. That's a way different story. That's not the same as, a little 1.5 grams. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, we're gonna have a fun weekend. Damn, 10 grams.
Dude, I'm just
That
thinking
boy was
about
there.
like now, like I don't think we've ever like again had a caffeine cast, caffeine episode. And I'm just like thinking about my state of mind in past episodes.
Yeah.
And I feel just as impacted, if not more, drinking this caffeine stuff than just a couple beers. You know?
Yeah.
I agree.
Like you feel just as impaired?
Yeah, if not more. Like, I can definitely tell in my thought process, like, definitely there's a body feel.
Yeah.
Said that, but just thought process for me.
Do you like it more or better, more or less?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So it pretty much comes down to like an upper or downer type of situation. Would you rather be like buzzing on caffeine or buzzing on like?
Well, this is the perfect time to shout out BORGs.
Ding. Yeah.
BORGs.
Blackout rage gallons.
Oh God.
I talked about it today with my brother.
It's a
new college
thing.
trend.
So yeah, I'll describe it. It's blackout
terrible.
rage gallon. Apparently, it's just it's a gallon of water that you pour out half of it, and then you fill the rest up with vodka.
Yes.
So you fill it back up, and then you take like a liquid IV,
like caffeine
electrolytes
and electrolyte packets.
Yeah, and then you have some caffeine supplement in there also to where it gets you up.
Yeah.
And it's funny because my brother's wife's brother, I guess that's his brother-in-law, right? He had to go to the hospital from doing this just 2 days in a row.
No, it's your brother-in-law.
We had this conversation earlier too.
Yeah, we've had it previously.
I think it's because I said that, and I think that's wrong. He's technically not my brother-in-law too. He's my brother's brother-in-law. Isn't that funny? Yeah, again, confusing.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I Googled it.
I'm
and
not
everything.
the one that
you Googled it?
I Googled it and everything because I
Okay.
hadn't said that. I was like, my brother-in-law. I was trying to be like, I have someone too, right? Me, I have a brother-in-law. They were like, no, you don't. I was like, yeah, I guess not. That's not him.
Oh, okay. Okay,
Yeah.
good to know.
But then again,
my brother-in-law
I
would be your
was
brother.
just, I had thought it. I didn't say it. I was like, brother-in-law. I was like, I didn't think that was the case. I was like, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But I guess because you're not associated to
that family
legally.
Yeah.
Like you have no ties to that family legally.
Yeah.
Like Lucas is obviously your brother, but you have no connection to, his wife. I guess what it boils down to is legal.
Right.
That's what it is.
No, but anyway, like he's like a college kid. He's college age.
Yeah.
And, he was just like, he did this one day, drank a whole one, and then the next day drank more, and then had to go to the hospital. Because his heart was like,
racing.
Yeah, palpitations, misfiring.
Well, the thing is, too, I think the dangerous thing about, from what I've seen about those rage gallons is that you don't you don't pass out. They keep you going, and you don't feel like fucked up and slumped where you're like falling down and like all like and you can't control. You get to a point where when you're blackout drunk, like you're like sloppy and falling down, you can't keep your head up and you're passing out.
Right.
Those things keep you going because not only are you getting drunk, and you're getting caffeine, and you're hydrating, you're still getting water too into your system. So it's like almost
Optimized.
You're just way to go longer and longer, and
Yeah.
like way past the point that you should be going.
Yeah, it's optimized
because it's not so
experience.
detrimental to. Well, I guess the feeling's not so intense as where if you were just drinking straight liquor or beer, you'd get to a point where you're like, I can't
feeling
drink
it
no
more.
I'm gonna be sick.
Right.
I guess you don't hit that point.
Because your body doesn't hit it.
Yeah, I guess not. I mean, I've never consumed that kind of a concoction before. But I'll tell you what, it definitely sounds wild.
Doesn't sound good for you.
Oh, no.
I mean, even though you think that half of the ingredients technically are safer for you than others, like
Right.
mixing it in soda or mixing it with
You have malt liquors.
soda. I
Preservatives
mean, I guess
and all
it's
that
really
crap in
just
it,
like
yeah.
soda. But doesn't sound good.
Also, drinking a half gallon of vodka can't be good. That's tough. And you're just straight.
And like
Yeah,
when
you're
the
bucking
goal is to drink that,
Yeah.
and for that to be like what you're drinking because you just want to get fucked up, I feel like it's just wrong.
Because
like it's like a recipe
For
to
destruction.
do it in 2 days in a row. It's just like,
because
gives me chills.
you're flavoring it to a point where with the caffeine and like the flavor packets to a point where it just tastes like you're probably drinking
Yeah, just normal
water
stuff.
with like a energy packet in it.
Right.
So you're just probably just drinking it without any just like, you know what I mean? And just kick a couple bucks off that thing like every 20 minutes or so, and the next thing you know, that gallon's gone, and it's been 2 hours. Like, you're probably in rage mode like a motherfucker. And then you probably don't feel slump because you're rolling on all that caffeine, and the water is probably helping push it through your body quicker too. And like,
I guess they call it blackout
rage gallon for a reason. I mean,
yikes.
Oof. Yeah, no thanks. I'm good.
We just had a friend who had a baby. Right. This baby was born a couple weeks premature, right? And weren't your girls premature by a couple weeks?
But that's normal for twins.
That is normal for twins.
Yes.
But they were saying that there's like apparently the hospital people and the staff were talking about the increase in premature births.
Okay.
And I like immediately thought of like all of the like hormone injected food, you know, that we're getting that's like pumped up with stuff, and like our bodies, like the babies are getting bigger for the mother's body, like quicker, developing quicker, you know, size wise. I just thought that was interesting. Like the hospital staff had said that there's like an increase, and then during COVID, they said it was a decrease.
Yeah, it was like an all-time high before COVID. It was like the all-time high of like preemies being born. It was like a new thing. Or just like normal. Like it was almost normal and expected for your baby to come early. And then COVID happened and it went back down to like a normal rate of early babies. And they were like, it's because people aren't going out and they're not working and they're not going.
Stressed.
Yeah, they're not as stressed as they are.
Yeah.
In a normal day now, and it's like back to normal and even worse than it was before COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
Because you can only imagine if stress is a factor, you know, probably after COVID, definitely raised like levels of anxiety. And
I'd like to think I'm a pretty like laid back kind of person, and I've always said and probably will forever say like I felt like super impacted. I still do, you know,
by COVID.
Yeah, I mean, just because the extended amount of time, you know, it was, 2 years, technically, let's call it two good ones.
It's a fair statement.
You know? And the first initial, 10 months was it was like you were forever snowed in.
Yeah.
It's like it really depended on your job.
True.
Because some people kept at it.
Yeah.
Some people were laid off completely.
And we both work
some
in
people
schools.
were like, you're going to work from home and you have different responsibilities, and it looked different for everybody. But ours was very much like, you have nothing to do. Hang tight until we tell you what to do when we know. And it just took forever. And it was about a year of kind of like doing something, but really nothing.
And I was
then going back and dealing with the kids, I think that's like when reality hit of like those kids did nothing.
They were impacted way more than
longer
adults
than a
were.
year.
Yeah.
And it was like, ah, shit. I was an adult figuring this out, and this is a kid figuring it out, and now I'm dealing with what they dealt with and what I had to deal with, and it's a lot.
So do you think COVID definitely impacted the way kids had acted at school prior to it and then afterwards? Like, could you tell a difference in like behavior?
I guess I wasn't there before, only as a student. You were there before COVID. You saw kids.
Oh, you didn't teach before COVID?
No, my first year
okay. I thought you were teaching before
was virtual, like the year going back.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Do you think there was a behavior shift?
Yeah.
Like the way kids acted prior to COVID, like before and then after? Like better or worse?
Worse. You know, it kind of gave me the perspective of like, even though it feels as if the system's kind of broken and flawed and not perfect, it still has a degree of structure that a lot of people's homes don't even have. Mm-hmm. And when that comes to like early childhood development, it's crucial. And so like those broken homes and families like that don't have anything to give in the developmental process, you know, those kids get pretty much all of it from the school. So that's how they learn their discipline and their responsibility and their integrity and empathy, and they didn't do that. So they learned from TikTok. That's my thing.
So they're just at home for 2 years on TikTok just scrolling.
They were like, this is what we should do. Mm-hmm. What's it called? Devious licks.
Devious licks?
You ever heard of that?
No.
It was like a thing that went viral on TikTok where kids were like stealing things from the school property. Like as in like paper towel dispensers and soap dispensers.
Just cause?
Just cause.
Like the sharpener off the wall that you can just like take it.
Devious licks.
They can do what with it?
Say, look what I licked today.
Take it. It was like, oh, did you get any licks today? And then like pull out some paper towels.
Yeah, one dude
like a whole
book
roll
bag.
of paper towels, or they'd pull out like the teacher's cup holder of pens, like just like stupid shit that they just steal
Just the lick
because
stuff.
they could.
Just like a game.
It's a game.
Like, yeah, it's like
Like
they
who
were
got the
ripping-
best one today?
They
And
were
it
ripping
was
sinks off the wall.
yeah, like we.
That's some wild shit.
That's the craziest thing. It's like you do the damage in the bathroom to know that once you got to the entrance or exit of the bathroom, like you can't actually walk out with that.
Yeah.
So now you've pulled a urinal off the wall, which happened at the middle school I worked at. They pulled the urinal off the wall because they tried to steal it. And it's like in the middle of the school day. What are you going to do with
Just
it?
destructive. Crazy.
You're just being an idiot. You're just being
Yeah.
destructive. It's just stupid.
It's just like how like a couple troublemakers were when we growing up.
Yeah.
But now it's like the whole of the culture.
It's kind of like everyone is doing
Yeah,
it.
because dude, look at that. Isn't that crazy?
But haven't you noticed in public too, like public destruction too, as far as like bathrooms and shit like that, is like definitely increased as well? Because I feel like I feel like before you would go like to a bathroom somewhere, and for the most part, like it was like okay,
They
public
try to
restrooms
keep
are
it
always
clean.
a little, paper towels here and there, like whatever, like I get it, but like I feel like definitely after COVID, more and more places you go into, and it's like you guys said, like the fucking paper towel dispensers like ripped off the wall. And the sinks like ripped off the wall, or like the toilet seat. Like you can tell that someone like intentionally just like fucked some shit up just to do it. Like I don't know why, but it almost seems like I don't even think it was just kids. It almost seems like just as a whole, as far as our like population, just everyone got not everyone, but it's kind of like why not do it? I mean, I can,
Yeah.
right?
Look at the views I get when
What am I gonna do?
That's what it felt like to me. Look at the views.
Like, what are you gonna do? No one's gonna do anything about it. It's like everyone's respect for public. I hate saying everyone. I want to say like the way
certain
you
population
behaved
of
in
people.
public just went out the window after COVID.
Sure.
I think people are just more like, oh, well, like, what are you gonna do? Like, no one's gonna do anything.
I see those.
It's not everybody, obviously.
Yeah, those
like we're not
comments
ripping fucking sinks
everywhere.
off the wall, but it's almost like people after COVID are now no longer afraid to just engage in whatever behavior or activity they want to in public and just be like, oh, well, if you don't like it, go somewhere else.
Again, I don't know if we brought it up before this, but the Chicago airport. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you about that. It's like what's it called, O'Hare?
The homeless?
Chicago O'Hare.
Yeah, here.
Yeah, there's like like before you go through security to get to the terminals where you purchase tickets and stuff. There's like an open place you can technically go and hang out.
Okay.
Right there's maybe a couple shops, a couple food places, but then you go through and there's more after you get to
Yeah, like
security.
it's like pre-TSA and then post-TSA.
Right. Well, everybody
Pre-TSA is
in
where the tickets are and
in the
stuff like
pre-section
that.
where everybody's purchased tickets. Apparently, in Chicago, there's just like homeless sleeping everywhere.
Yeah. Well, Starbucks lifted its policy as far as like you no longer have to purchase anything to be inside of their establishments.
So people are just hanging out in there. when it's
Maybe
cold.
that's why the one right here has closed down. Because the past couple times I've been in there have been people just like sitting.
Yeah, they changed their whole policy because
tables.
a video went viral of like a Starbucks employee like telling some lady who looked obviously homeless like that she needed to get out of the bathroom. Like she had been in there for a long time or some shit like that. Mm-hmm. And the person was like, I was in there doing my business. You don't tell me when I can and can't leave, blah,
Right.
blah, blah. And after that went viral, I guess like Starbucks' response was to change their policy stating that you no longer have to be a paying customer to occupy the inside of their store or bathrooms. And they're welcoming anyone and everyone who just wants to come in and hang out to hang out.
Come and hang
So
out.
you can just as a homeless person or just a person who doesn't even want to go in and buy a cup of coffee and just use the Wi-Fi, go into their lobby and just chill. And they're not allowed to kick anyone out anymore.
Well, this wasn't
Okay.
recently, but I saw back in the day, like was like 10 years ago probably. Someone at this McDonald's right here on the corner, like showering in the in the drink dispenser water.
Sink bath.
Not even in the sink in the bathroom, but like in the drink dispenser.
Oh, the water fountain.
Yeah.
Oh, the soda dispenser.
The soda dispenser where you get the water out.
Yeah, just
under the armpits, like
Yeah.
leaning in.
I mean, yeah. I mean, fuck. If you're homeless and you got no other option, I guess.
But
yeah,
that's
go
kind of
for
like
it,
petty,
but-
right? Like you can't go to the sink in the bathroom.
Or you can just ask for
I saw
a
this
cup
in Mona.
of water. You can get a cup and fill it with water. Go
Go
outside and do
rinse
that.
it. Yeah.
I think the problem is that, like, you know, it used to always be like paying customers only, you know what I mean, to use the amenities inside of a restaurant or a coffee shop or whatever kind of business it is. And that these corporations have gotten so scared to just kick anyone out or just to say, hey, if you're not buying anything from here, you can't be in here, because they're afraid to get canceled, which is weird because they're the biggest businesses in
To
America.
someone, it's going to be a scene, and it's going to be the next. Yeah.
So I guess their stance is like they already have so much money. They're just like, oh, just anyone can come in because we'll still be making money. Like, it doesn't matter to us. But it also, too, like, ruins the experience for someone who wants to go in and really just enjoy, like, a nice atmosphere and a cup of coffee. And not that there's anything wrong with, you know, anyone that has any type of, like, maybe, like, mental illness or disability or homelessness, because that is a real problem. But at the end of the day, like, those are not the right places to, like, deal with those things.
Yeah.
You know, like, by all means, if it's fucking raining out and you're, you know, got something going on, you just want to come inside the building real quick before, you know, let it let up and then leave. Like, okay, cool. But, you know, I don't really want to be going into Starbucks and sitting next to fucking Larry, who smells like trash, for 3.5 hours and who's just
Piss
been
trash.
just sleeping in there.
Piss
you know,
trash.
like,
I think it's the difference
somebody peed
between
in that
waiting out the
trash.
storm, sitting there at a table, and waiting out the storm and taking a bath at the soda machine while you're sitting there.
because that's
Like,
an unpleasant experience for a paying
I'm gonna come
customer,
over
because
here
you're
and-
like, dude,
yeah.
you're straight putting your armpit juices all over the fucking water dispenser right now, and I'm supposed to go over there and fill my Diet Coke up with that?
She said, "Y'all got any stale buns I can dry my armpits with?"
Well, there's a gas station on the way home from work that I used to stop at from time to time to get gas or like get like some beer for the for the house, so I didn't have to like stop at a grocery store or something. And there's a dude that legit hangs out in that parking lot and has said the same story to me like 4 times, and I'm just like,
Is it about catching the bus, getting a bus ticket?
no, man, it's like, hey
one I usually
man,
get.
my name is so-and-so, and I just got out of prison, and I'm trying to get my kids back, and I just got this job at McDonald's, and I'm trying to purchase a new pair of shoes and a new pair of pants for the job, and I start tomorrow, and if I can't get those pairs of shoes and those pants, I'm not going to be able to like start the job, and I know that you don't owe anything to anyone in this world, but I'm just trying to like really have an opportunity to get my kids back, so if you could help me with anything, I'd really appreciate it. And I'm like, dude, you've told me this story like 4 times, and the fact that you don't even remember telling me this story 4 times automatically just tells me you told me you were starting this job tomorrow several months now. Like, I want to be that guy to be like, yo, dude, you've told me this story 4 times. When the fuck are you really starting the job? But I'm not that person. So guess what? Exxon on Bells Road. I just stopped coming to your store now.
Or you just say, "You're a liar."
No, man, I'm not confrontational like that, especially in public with someone who's clearly lying and has something going on. I'm not trying to get stabbed tonight.
You got lion beef?
Like, hey, man, I don't have any cash. Sorry, dog. And that's that. But now I don't go to that store anymore.
Y'all heard me say that earlier.
I don't go to that store anymore because every time I show up there, this guy comes out of fucking nowhere behind the damn pumps or behind the side of the store or where, because the McDonald's attached to this gas station. And like I said, this dude has told me the same story 4 times, which, if that's the case, how have you not started by now? Because you told me the last time I was here a month ago that you're starting tomorrow at McDonald's.
That's why you say, "Do you take Ninja Throwing Star?" And then you just right in
No,
the
I
neck.
don't think you fuck with those people
take
because
that
they're already
for
not
payment?
in the right mind. So
they're like,
no, that's when he hits you with the throwing star. You're like,
then you have a ninja battle.
I was just trying to get 20 on pump 12. Fuck.
I thought about doing that once. I didn't have my card, and I was like, I can just go to the gas station. People do it all the time. Hey, $5 will get me where I'm going. Pay it forward kind of thing. Like, I mean, I had khaki
I
pants
remember we
on.
talked about this, and I said, "Don't do it."
And I called a friend who was close, and I was like, hey, this is my plan. Can I just get you to send me some money? He was like, I'm stop by, pick up the card, go fill the car up. I can't make it home, but I can make it to you. that funny?
Yeah, he was like way close to somebody, but he didn't. Yeah, I was like,
I was
do
like, I
not
kinda
go to
wanted
the
to
gas
try it.
station asking for money because you're not going to get it.
Yeah.
I mean, just people are going to
One
look at
time
you and
I went
immediately, yeah.
So one time when she was living in the mountains and she had left and gone to work and I was going back home, it's like a 3-hour drive. She was gone. And I had left my phone inside
Inside.
her apartment.
Okay.
I was like, crap, I need my phone.
And you were
so I
already
gotta call
gone.
her.
Oh, I got
Gotta
you.
call
Yeah, I
somebody,
was
get
in
my
class.
keys, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, I
And
was
so
in
I was
school.
like, pulled up to the gas station and I walked in. And I was like, well, actually, I think I asked somebody outside first. I was
You
like,
could use
hey,
their phone.
can I borrow your cell phone? I don't have my phone. I left it somewhere. I need
Yeah.
to make a call so I can get back in and get it, blah, blah. And in hindsight, I said it was because I had a huge honking zit on my forehead. They definitely gave crackhead vibes.
Yeah.
They were like, no.
Like, nah, man, we're good.
Right. So then I went in, and it was bad. I went into the store, and the worker is on her cell phone. Okay?
Yeah.
She's like on her phone like this or something, doing some call. I can't remember. I said, hey, do you have like a phone that I can borrow, make a call? She was like, no. And I was like, oh, well, do you think it'd be possible if I could, borrow your phone, just make a quick call? She was like, no.
I mean,
Well, you gotta be kidding.
Get it?
So I had to go to the good old Publix. Isn't it a Publix or is it Kroger?
No, it was a Martin's.
It was a Martin's.
Oh,
Shout
I know
out
that
to the
Martin's
Martins.
is. I deliver gas there. Mm-hmm.
And they're nice people up in the Martins because I walked
There's
in.
a dress store over there. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I walked in right there, that gas station right there.
I know exactly where it is.
I said, y'all, I was over here at this gas station trying to get someone to let me borrow a phone and make a call. Can you help me out? They were like, yeah, go make a call over here, honey. Dial 9 to get out, or whatever.
Rips the phone off the wall and runs out of the store. I'm like,
That's what getting
the
nice
pimple
gets
on the
you.
forehead should have gave it away, Sharon.
It wasn't just a pimple, it was
I
was
think
a massive
if
mountain.
you walk into a place with like a story, so I was leaving and the apartment and the keys and the store and I was trying to and I locked myself out and I need to make a call. Can I borrow your phone? I think that gives off crackhead vibes. I think if you walk in and just go, hey, can I borrow your phone? That's the answer.
They're like, where's yours?
Oh, I left it at my apartment. I'm trying to call someone to get it.
No.
I'm like, okay, thanks. But when you walk in, you're like, hey, it just
Right.
seems like you have this thought out
Right.
story
Mm-hmm.
that you're like
And then
scripted.
after they say
it's
no
not
about the
real. They're
phone-
like, no, you're gonna run off with this motherfucker.
Right. After they say no about the phone, you're like, well, can I get $5?
And you're like, and you turn to the guy next to you and you say, hey, can I borrow your phone? And he's like, yeah. And he's like, well, congratulations. You just won $1 million to let me borrow your phone. You could have won the million, but you
Yeah.
lost out. And you're on camera. Confetti falls from the ceiling.
Wouldn't that be
and
awesome?
balloons come up, and the lady behind the counter's like,
That's what you get for being an asshole. I agree. That's how I think about it.
I've seen like videos where people do that, where they like
If
ask you like
only.
gas stations, like,
Yeah.
and then they ask
Or
some
even if
random
it
guy.
wasn't the confetti, it was just like you pulled out like a wad of cash. And you're like, here's $500.
So I'll
Thank
see
you so much for your
another one.
kindness.
Yeah.
Like, it's just that moment of like, what? Oh, really? Oh, thank you so much. Like, you give me $1, I'm going to give you $100 back.
Yeah, that's like all that charity YouTube stuff. I've
Yeah.
seen one. Another shout out, Big Dawes TV.
Okay.
Love
He's the
that.
fake
Keep
Clay
shouting him
Thompson.
out.
He's the fake Clay Thompson. He like snuck into the Golden State Warriors.
No shit.
Like, they were like, "What's up, Clay?" He was like, "So." Kind of
Alright,
got
I've
lined
seen this
up,
video.
like had the stuff on.
Gang,
went in,
baby.
Dude, went in and started shooting.
No
It was
shit,
funny.
on the court?
Yeah. He's like a prankster guy, but they take this money like Mr. Beast style and like
Yeah.
give it back. And so he's done one where he's like, "Yo, can I borrow your phone? Make a call real quick." They're like, "Sure," and he gets it and he like makes a call and it's like an angry call. And he like puts it in his pocket and switches it out for a fake phone and smashes it on the ground and gets angry at it. He's like, "I'm sorry." They're like, "Dude, just smash my phone. No problem."
Oh.
And he's like, "Nah, I'm just playing. Here's
You
your
think
phone."
in that moment
and
you would be like-
"Here's a brand new iPhone." They do that too.
Do you think in that moment you'd be like, hey man, you just smashed me? How do you think you would react?
Yeah, honestly, I'd be like, "Damn, dude.
I'd be like,
Seriously?
are you kidding?
Seriously."
What? Yeah, I'd be
I
like
mean-
shocked, but also like, are you kidding me?
I mean, we saw this guy react when we poured espresso into his coffee.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm trying
So
to make
I
it
can only
nice.
imagine we smashed his phone in
Someone
the street. He's
throws
like,
his phone.
nah.
You just rips your own hair out.
He rips his own arms off his body. You're like, fuck, we should never taken this
Then
guy's
we just
phone.
scream so loud
It's a
that
joke,
his
man, it's
hair
a joke.
shoots out of his skin. He's like,
Yeah, the guys doing the video like, fuck, this dude just jumped out of his skin.
No, these hairs too. You don't want those stabbing you because they got some roots.
They're power, dude. They're strong.
You're like, whoa.
Dude,
Whoa, holy shit.
dude, if you know anything about a hair splinter,
Oh god,
dude, a
Get
hair
outta
splinter,
here
a hair
with
will
those.
splinter, and the splinter will splinter into your skin. It's like a splinter.
It's like instead
I
of
don't get
wood, it's hair. Like it's stuck
But how does that happen?
because
The
can
hair
just get in
splinters.
it just like it will pierce your skin.
If you look
and
under-
I worked in a
under
hair
mic-
salon for a while, and that's where I experienced them for the first time.
Hair will stab you.
but
and
knowing
stick
him,
into your
I've
skin.
had them since.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like just it happens. It's just like they get stuck in your fingers. It's usually like in a soft spot or in your feet. Like if you're walking around barefoot, we've got a dog. There's just like it sucks.
Dude, my grandma one time had like something on the bottom of her foot that was bothering her at Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And they like put her on the couch and they were looking at her foot and they saw a little hair and they pulled it out and the hair was like this long. They were just like,
That's a worm.
no, it was like, it was a hair. It was like
No,
a piece of hair.
Yes.
Oh, under her
It was,
skin.
it was like, it had, she worked in the salon too because my uncle owned a salon and they were like, oh, it's a little blonde hair on your
I've
foot right
actually
there. And they
seen
were like
this
pulling it with
before.
tweezers and it was like coming out and coming out and coming. And like I said, it was like if you ripped a single strand of her hair off her head and pulled it out of the bottom of her foot. It wasn't painful or anything. She was like, oh, just like something tickling always me on the bottom of my foot. And when she would look, she couldn't see anything because it was a little blonde, like little fiber looking thing. Boy said it was a worm. She from fucking third world.
Yeah, tapeworm
I've
in there.
seen like ingrown hairs that are inches.
Yeah, long.
Like really long.
Like I said,
It
it was
is
like a piece of hair. It was like
It's-
it gets in there somehow. I guess the splinter shit you're talking about, and it just continues to grow. I guess I'm not too sure,
I
but
think it's ingrown.
they pulled that
But
shit
like
out.
any time that you have this like pain or this like you're like, what the hell is that? And you itch at it and you like never know what it is.
Yeah,
It's probably a little hair splinter and you can't see them. And it's like the worst thing ever. But anytime you have those little pains in your fingertips or around your hair fingers, that's probably what it is.
So, like, essentially,
I've never
I feel
heard of
like
that.
you could take strands of hair,
Yeah.
and like if you stretch them out, tighten them up, and you could rub them across people's skin, and it would splinter up, and like it would be painful. It could be like a
No.
torture technique.
No.
You don't think it would happen like that?
I don't think
he
so.
said, "I'm trying to think about how to torture you."
No, I'm just trying to think outside of
It's
the
like
box,
you need
baby.
just Indian rub.
Oh my god, I haven't heard of that.
It's
Indian
it's
burn?
no, like native people's rub. Native people's.
It's a
burn.
commander's rub.
Yeah, sorry, no, I didn't mean to be. I was just thinking back to elementary school days.
No, I'm
Grab
just
somebody's arm, you're like,
Get an Indian burn.
Yeah, that's what it's called. I'm not racist.
we'll just call it ringing out the towel burn.
Yeah, right. We can make it more about labor.
Or it's just a double twist on that meat. Just
What's the double twist on the time?
we're at 42 minutes.
That's called
20 minutes.
That's crazy because
Caffeine.
that felt like a 15-minute conversation. That did not feel like 42 minutes. And
No, it
was
felt
like-
longer for me.
It was just pretty much like three privileged people being like, I don't want homeless people in my establishments. They stink. They stink.
No, dude.
no, I just don't
I'm
want
just
them
kidding.
bathing in my.
No,
I guess I
again,
don't even ever have a sodas, but still, I don't want them showering in the soda machine because that's
Yeah.
sanitary.
Again, a place of business is different than a place of, cleanliness. Like, you're not supposed to clean
mean-
yourself in a place.
Sit and chill. Wait out the storm. Bear the warmness out of the cold. Like, do what you need to do
Yeah.
to survive, but don't
But
go
lay
up to
off the
where
drinking
people are
fountain.
getting the iced tea and Sprites and wash your pits.
What a bold move, though.
Get a cup of water
Power move.
I really think you could.
and go to a booth. I mean,
Yeah,
shit.
at
I
least
mean,
get to
don't
the
even go
booth.
back outside. Just don't do it up
Some of
in
those
there.
bucket booths you could probably fill up with water, have like a light, shallow bath.
100%.
Homeless, light, shallow
100%.
McDonald's bath.
Little
Bucket booth?
bucket
What's
booth.
a bucket booth?
Like, the booth, you can probably like lay in them. Like, sometimes they have like an indention, the old school style one. You could probably like get a couple
Little bunt down
inches
here.
of water in
Yeah.
there. Then you could ask for like some to-go containers and line it up. Mm-hmm. Dude, my shoulder's cracked twice.
You go to the bathroom and you get some squirts of soap and then you put it
And
in
you're
there.
having Get taken a bath. And
You know what's crazy? I always thought about if I was homeless, like, what would I do? And you know Planet Fitness is only $10 a month and they have showers.
Oh, dude.
Why not just get a gym membership and just for $10 a month, just
a lot
go
of-
Sleep in
shower?
there.
I would just
And sleep in there during
no,
the day.
not sleep in there because they definitely
No,
would be
a
like,
lot
"Yo,
of them
dude, you're in
do.
here forever." But
No, not in the massage chair. How much does that cost?
it's with the membership.
Exactly. So you can get a massage nap.
Yeah,
You don't
but
have to sleep outside.
there's other people
Sleep during
waiting
the
for
day.
you, like the massage chair. You can't be in there for a long time.
Just keep re-signing up.
You're like, I'm on my 20th one. I'm thinking about 30. I'll let you know when I'm done. No,
you just
dude,
let
like,
them hop in.
I would just
Can
be
I
like-
pay for this. It's in the contract.
I would just be like, yo, this is my address. I'll just make one up. You
1, 2, 3, 1
the
Happy
gym's
Lane.
checking? No. Here's my $10 a month. If they're like, oh, well, you need a card on file, go to Walmart and get a prepaid card and just load $10 onto it every month. Use that card. And then in the morning, show up. A lot of those places offer like some kind of a little like complimentary bagel or like juice in the morning.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
A gym?
Like, not every day, but a lot of the times they'll have like Tuesdays we give out like a little muffin and an OJ. Or something like that. Like, I've definitely seen that before. And then, dude, go to the locker room, take yourself a nice hot fucking shower. You can probably definitely get some cheap-ass bars of soap.
Yeah, see, so, okay, I'm going to go ahead and
Spit bars
say,
in the shower.
guess what? You're doing too much. If you move to Portland, you get 3 free meals a day. You wake up, I saw an interview, lady was like, what do I do during the day?
What do
I
I
wake
do?
up, I get high, I go eat
Yeah.
breakfast, I
Well-
get high, I eat lunch, I get high, I eat dinner, I get high, go sleep, do
Well,
it
maybe
again
this is
tomorrow.
a person that's just falling down on some bad luck and they're not a junkie and they just are homeless. And they're just trying to get back on their feet and they're like, I can't afford to live anywhere, so what do? Hang out in a gym during the day and
Yeah,
then just
dude.
camp out at fucking inside at night.
Trade in your
Live in your car.
Trade in your Toyota Camry.
100%.
Get the nice Forester. Put a little small bed in the back.
Yeah, I mean, dude, you can definitely
You
get
can't
like an
afford
old
the
pick-
Traverse.
Old, not
The Chevy Traverse.
or
It's
the
too
fucking
big.
4Runner, too big.
Too big for you.
The insurance too much. Just get an old car, dude. Fucking, I seen like some videos of like a. There's a lot of people now that just live in their car, and they're like, oh, I have the shades for all the windows. I have the little AC unit at night, so I don't have to run the battery. Well,
We know someone.
run the vehicle.
We know someone.
And she's like, tonight I'm staying in this Walmart parking lot in Scottsdale, Arizona. And tomorrow we'll see where we end up next.
Got plenty of time to hang out here tonight. So
Again, I think the
I
rules.
got the George Foreman cooking up.
The rules of like a traditional normal lifestyle have definitely been broken, and now it's almost like you really can write your own story and live the life that you think you want to live without people, I think, looking at it like, oh, that's not cool. You don't, think so? I think so.
No, because I think if we were to let our lease up here, like let our lease go and not have somewhere to live and like get a van
Yeah.
and do that,
Yeah.
people would definitely question, even our friends. They'd be like, what are y'all doing? Like, I
Yeah.
definitely think that our family and friends would have a lot to say if we were to try to like live out of a van or do something like, not saying that we'd want to
Right.
do that, but I'm just saying,
2 examples. I mean,
there's
I
nothing
totally get
wrong
that.
with it. If you want to
Yeah.
make that work, awesome. But I don't think that it's as easy. I mean, I think it's cool and it's doable.
Yeah.
And
I don't think it's like 100% accept. That's what I'm saying. I think it's easier now than it has ever been.
right.
Because now it's trendy, and now you can have 100,000 followers as the fan couple.
Right. Well,
I'm saying it's not, everyone's not going to
Yeah.
go, oh, that's fucking awesome. There's going to be a lot of people that go, yikes.
I
living
think
in
if
a
it's like an
van.
optional
I've seen,
thing, like you have somewhere to live, but then you also have this option of like going away and traveling and doing road trips.
No, I think it's cool.
Yeah,
I just
no,
think,
and that's something that we would love to do,
I
but
don't-
not as a permanent way of living our
Yeah.
life every day.
I think it's just easier, and I don't think it's as like frowned upon as it used to be. Mm-hmm. Like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, if you were like, I'm going to live in a van, people would be like, oh, they have problems. Or they're drug addicts, or they're hippies
Down by
or
the
something.
river.
Yeah, just they're insane
They're gonna,
people.
like,
now it's
trailer
like,
park, whatever.
dude, Toyota sells a whole line of vans to live in now. Like that's how accepted it is that
Yeah.
a major car manufacturer
Yeah.
sells the Toyota.
Why would
they're
you-
called the
yeah, if you're
Vanzillas
already-
or
right, if
something
you're already
like
living
that.
in a
yeah,
box.
like
Oh,
Why
you're
not
gonna
have
have a box
wheels
with
on
wheels,
it?
right? Because then you can take the box
And
anywhere.
it's so
And I
trendy.
think, and it's so agreeable. I think that's
have
yeah,
too
it's,
much
it's a
stuff. I'm a
like
collector.
it's great. But I think
You have to-
again,
yeah.
our family, like just our families, I guess,
Yeah.
would have so much. To
And also,
say.
it's definitely case by case. It's not
Yeah.
like a life that like everybody's family or friends would accept and be like, oh, that
Right.
makes sense. But I definitely think it's something that more people are like looking towards and
totally.
getting into than ever before because it's not, again, it's not like taboo anymore. It's almost like, oh, they're just like a young van life. Like, I mean, again,
Two things.
that's what that chick and that dude that, what was the guy that ended up unfortunately like killing that
Murdering
girl?
Gabby Petito.
Yes. They were van life in it.
Yeah, that's what happens.
You know, and their families were like, oh, you know, we wish they'd be home and like they were around here more and lived more of, you know, Monday through
if you have
Friday
mental
work life
problems
job.
and you try to put yourself into a van with
But
somebody,
you definitely have to have like, that's a very organized, very like also structured lifestyle because you can't like you really have to like
You
be
be
on
think
super
about what you
regimented.
have
Yeah.
and what you like can and can't take. Like, you can't, you know, people think that people that live like that are very just like sloppy, lazy pigs, and for real, they're probably more
They're
organized
opposite,
and structured than just the average person because you only have X amount of compartments. You don't have 2,000 square feet to like make that lifestyle happen. You have fucking
Right.
500 square feet.
you
Yeah.
you have to
And
optimize.
you're
can't
gonna
put all
be,
this in a fucking van.
right?
No.
And you're gonna be on this stretch of like land or road before you can refill or get more food
You have
or
to
more
map
water.
out where's the
or
next stop, where's the
let
next
out your
refill,
tank,
when's the
you
next
know?
place we do our laundry.
It's a lot.
Hell yeah, I wouldn't want to do
Where
it.
are we allowed to stay the night without getting tickets? Where
Yeah.
can we not? You know,
Yeah, it's
I
a lot to
wouldn't
do.
want that life, not because it's not cool, because I think it would be insanely stressful with having
Yeah.
to think about all that and kind of like almost the unknown of like where are we sleeping tonight.
but it is really cool though that they have like there are these
Excuse me.
awesome websites that can help you plan out all those kinds of trips.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it is really cool.
And it, like they'll help if you want to go here. They'll tell you every place you need to stop along the way.
We use it for like having the
And
dog too,
It's just
stuff like that.
I mean,
Tell
I
you
think
where to stop
it's
with the
just so
dog.
cool what they've come up with. But if you really want to do it old school and like grab a map,
Yeah.
it's going to take some serious
Planning.
preparation.
Yeah.
Even with the websites, you're going to have to plan something. You have to look something
You
up.
can't just willy nilly go. No.
You can't just
You'll get fucked.
You can't be like, we're going, you know, hitting the road. Yeah,
West
hitting the road.
Coast.
Good luck, because in 35 miles, you're going to have no food, and you're going
And
to
also,
have to
too-
empty your urine tank or whatever else. 30
Also,
miles
too,
is not enough.
you have to
but
have money for that.
Yeah,
It's just expensive.
it can
God
be.
forbid that
Yeah,
transmission
yeah.
goes out and you need to fucking get a transmission for your van and that's what you live in?
Stop.
That's
And you're
4
holed up
G's,
for a
baby.
couple
That's
days,
4
yeah.
G's. You better
I
have that
do
shit
really
in the
want
bank.
to. Yeah, I know.
Two things. I saw one. It was a dude, a dad who like moved into a tiny home or like a van thing with his daughter, and they did it for so many years. And then he was like, "We gotta get more space because she's like 14 years old."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
living
but
in,
she
like,
needed
a
like her
town.
own like privacy.
Yeah, it was like, and it's
Yeah.
like what you need, you know. So
Yeah.
it's circumstantial. But two, the second thing was there's someone we know that does that. They work from home in a van. I think his dog is with him.
Him and his dog.
Him and his dog, and he
It's
goes
been 3
everywhere.
months.
He
He's
literally
been on the
goes
road
everywhere.
for 3 months. He came back this past weekend. But yeah, he just
And then I just met someone
is on the
recently
road.
Yeah.
who is a teacher, and they live in a van.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Who?
You don't know them. Super exclusive relationship. No. Some random football coach.
Right.
He's like from North Carolina. Yeah, and I was like, oh, you know, cool. And he was like, yeah, dude, I'm living in my van, and I just got this job. I was like, oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it's either a couple or a single lifestyle.
Yeah.
It's not a lifestyle that you're going to just like do with a family.
That's when you get the
Or it's
school
not
bus
like
version.
a job.
That's when you get the tiny home
School bus
Yeah.
version, yeah.
and you like have a little loft
Yeah.
and you have like outside space.
Yeah.
It's not reliable upon like where the van is located. It's a more stationary situation, which I've been talking about for years.
But that's what I'm saying. I think those alternate lifestyles are so much more obtainable now than they ever have been, because now there is guides, there is other people, there's profiles, there's websites, there's how-tos, whereas before it was such a I don't know, we're just going to wing it type deal. You know, like you can really probably in a year get your shit together and get that kind of a plan set up and be on the road and doing it just based off of like other people's experiences. And that's what the internet pretty much has provided to us, is like a tutorial to anything you want to do. And that's
we're pretty good at exploring places and finding cool things and random things. And what's it called? The Devil in Ohio.
I haven't seen that, but I've seen that on, is it Netflix?
Yeah.
Is that
it's about a cult.
Okay.
Satan cult.
Okay. Haven't seen it. Do you like it?
Our shining star.
It's pretty good. Did we finish it?
Yeah.
We did? Yeah.
Yeah.
You said in Ohio?
Yeah.
What was the whole premise of the cult?
Premise of the whole series was
there one guy banging all the women?
No.
Fuck.
No, you have... Okay, it's a girl escapes.
From the cult.
And she's like orphan girl now in a home, and they're trying to figure out what happened to her. And they're figuring out she came from a cult.
Oh, okay.
She came from a cult.
So she ends up at an orphanage, and they're like, yo, what the fuck happened to this girl?
Not orphanage. She is, I guess.
She's like technically an orphan because when she gets shown to the hospital, she's like they like contact her parents, and nobody shows up to the court system. Right.
She's like, who the hell is this girl? But so they're figuring out what happened to her.
But yeah, devil stuff. Cult.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
Devil cult stuff.
Pretty cool show.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's
very slow show.
Oh, really?
Very slow.
We probably got to build it up slow to like then hit you with that,
devil stuff.
There was no
Can't open up with the devil stuff.
Even like even the last episode, I don't think there was ever like this like, oh, moment. It was just like...
Devil.
Just kind of like a look inside
very slow. You found pieces here, pieces there. They hooked you each episode, but it was never like, I was waiting for this. This is what I needed. That never happened. But it's got to continue because they left you with like...
Maybe.
Cliffhanger?
Maybe.
With like another question, like another avenue. They totally opened it up to like having something need to be answered.
Yeah, I feel like endings to shit suck. Like they just don't ever,
because they're like, we might be able to make some more money.
Yeah,
so we'll just keep it open.
I feel like they never end a movie or a show or a docuseries with like a ending.
If they do, it's not well.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, that's the ending.
Yeah.
Like, oh, that's kind of shitty because that was really good, and then all of a sudden you just hit me with that. So
I was just thinking maybe it's because most people haven't gotten to the ending. So they don't base it on any personal experience. As with the other stuff, it's like based on personal experience.
What other stuff?
The ending of the plot, right? People have a plot to their life.
Yeah.
The storyline. And they've gone through all of it.
And the ups and downs.
They haven't got to the end. They
Gotcha.
don't know how to write that.
I see what you're saying. Like,
how do I write an ending?
If you're making this about this person, they're still here and still living in middle age, like there's no ending to it. So
right, or even if I'm just based on
I just think even like
experience.
Just movies that are just pure fiction that aren't real, you know what I mean? Just, I feel like so many movies just end and you're like we watched a movie the other night and I was just like, it was a good movie and it seemed like it had a good storyline and I was intrigued the entire time. At the end I was just like, that's the end? I was like, huh.
That's the end.
It's kind of weird, but it is what it is.
Yeah. One of those other disappointments from the shows is like from episode, when it's a seasonal thing, from season to season, if they change the people because you're waiting for the answer to whatever they end you on, it's like, okay, well that just happened and now we're moving on to this and it's new people. Like they've casted someone new, someone didn't come back. And it's a character that you needed answers from.
That sucks.
But it's a new person.
It just doesn't hit the same.
It's very distracting.
Yeah.
That just happened in one of the shows that I'm watching. It's very distracting.
You're like, damn, they casted someone else to play Shelly. Fuck.
Yeah, Shelly's been the same person
Shelly
for
was
16
that damn
seasons.
girl last season, and now they got Shelly as this girl? This ain't the Shelly that I liked.
Not Shelly I know.
It's the same character, but it's not.
Bring Shelly back.
Yeah. You weren't the one who went through all that.
No, the other Shelly was way cuter. This one's just a dog.
Salty.
But I guess with real life stuff, it's hard because if it's not done yet, like you were saying, like how do you
Even like fictionally come up with it? Like, what's a good way to end it? I mean, think about like, I mean, all the great things. Like, the first thing that popped in my head was Game of Thrones. I've never seen it, but people are like, "Oh, it's so good, you should watch it." But the ending sucks.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like
And that's what
everything's
everyone
ending
knows.
is shitty. Like,
Have none of us watched Game of Thrones?
no.
Yes, dude. Yes. Doesn't that make you feel a certain way? You're like, stay.
No,
Strong.
I watched.
True.
I watched definitely like a couple of the first season, if not the whole first season, and was just like, no, I'm good.
I'm like, what, Xerxes something?
I'm like,
Ooh.
yeah, I get it. Like, it's shot really well. It looks really good. The acting's awesome, but it's just like medieval times of people fucking and like battling each other. Like, congratulations.
Yeah.
Like, why do I want to watch 10.5 seasons of like 10 episodes an hour long of the same like incest, sword decapitation, tribe taking over, dragon slayers? Like, I don't need 10.5 seasons of that. I also think it's too like a thing to like kind of be a part of that everyone else is a part of.
Yeah.
You watch Game of Thrones, right? It's like, oh yeah,
Right, yeah,
bro.
be a part of something.
Dude, Khaleesi's?
Of course I've seen it. Right.
And I think
Smoke.
that was never a thing for me. I always wished that I could be a part of those conversations. I started watching it, trying to get into
Yeah.
it. Couldn't follow the names, the
Yeah.
family trees and
Yeah.
connections. Like, I just couldn't connect to that. I couldn't get on that train. And then also it was just like medieval porn.
That's what it is.
It was just like every episode, a couple times an episode, I was like, all right, well, this is a lot.
It's like forced on you.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, we're telling this bomb story, but we're going to have this chick getting railed out multiple times in
there's
episode.
like
By
a degree
multiple
of
people, by like, it's just
uncomfortability.
like, it's just
Bunch
too
of
much.
dicks in your face,
I'm
tits
like, couple
getting pounded,
episodes
and you're just
in.
like,
Yeah.
I mean, cool, I guess? Like, who is this? Like, who is
The
this
writer's like,
for? All HBO shows always be having mad tits and dicks in their episodes.
The writer is just like giggling. And
It's
he's
just,
like,
and again, I feel like it's like, I mean, okay, I get this is a mature adult content, like I understand, but it doesn't have to have, like, every episode does not need tits and dick in it. Like, I get if it happens because that's what adults do, but
they're writing it.
why
they're
are we
like,
fucking every episode? Like,
they're writing it and they're like, so I think she has 3 more times she can show her boobies. Should we show them in this conversation here? Or no, we'll wait
It's like,
for
what's
the next
the
conversation.
legal limit?
yeah.
We'll show her boobies 2 more times after they kill that one person. We gotta.
But I think, I don't know.
Sex, violence. We
It's
have to
almost like-
have a roller coaster of it.
It's almost like too much of it. Like, what's the thing? It's just like overkill.
Overkill.
You're just
I mean,
I get it, but
Yeah.
It's the
And I guess if you're
uncomfortability.
connected to the story and you're invested in like who wins and what family's going to come out, if you're actually invested, sure, you can watch the whole thing and kind of be blinded by that. But I just think it's to me, because I didn't care about the medieval or whatever time it was. Like, I didn't care about the whole entire story. I couldn't get past what they were showing.
Right,
But
but maybe
HBO
it's opposite.
has also Euphoria, which is
Teenagers
pretty
fuck.
intense.
So maybe it's the
And
opposite
that
where
is like different. Like, I can connect to that in a different way. And then it has True Blood from
Yeah.
way back in the day. Like, I was in high school watching True Blood. My mom called it vampire porn.
yeah.
Because, it was pretty intense, but I was invested in the story.
So I guess
And
the
I could
whole thing
follow
is
the
if you're into the
story.
story, you don't mind the sex.
no,
Whatever
but some
happens,
people
I-
probably
Happens,
I don't
right?
know.
like the sex
I don't
part
know.
of it because
That's
they're
what keeps them
like,
coming back.
I like to feel it in my
And that-
loins.
yeah,
I
it
like this
wasn't
show
like,
because I
ooh.
can feel it in my loins.
It keeps me
Episode
going.
7 of season 3. That's what I watch on repeat. Like, it's never ever like that, but it's, the story, I guess, for True Blood. That's why there's so many seasons, and I followed it through because it was good. Like, I
Yeah.
wanted to see what happened next. It wasn't
You were
like,
drawn to
I
the
wanted to
storyline.
watch
You wanna
them
know
have
what I
sex
followed
again.
on HBO? Band of Brothers.
I
you
didn't
ever
even
see
know
that?
that.
No.
That's a good series.
Yeah,
And I'm
no.
pretty sure it's
I
HBO.
remember it, but I never
could
saw
be
it.
wrong. Band of Brothers about World War II.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
Yeah, again,
That's all I got to say about
I just
that.
never,
different.
I was just
Recommendation.
never TV show guy. Never like got into TV
It
shows
was
like
very
that.
much shows.
Yeah, I was more movies, you know, and that's why like I feel like I've missed out, and I've tried to get into them, but never have really gotten into like the Breaking Bads, the Game of Thrones, the Walking Deads, you
I
know,
never
all
watched
those
any of
shows
those.
that like
I never watched
come
any of those either.
around and people are like, oh yeah, you know, it's the best show you haven't seen it.
That turns me off almost.
Yeah, but then like, what is that though?
That I'm turned off
Like,
by
what
that?
is that like being like, oh, well, everyone else watches it, so I'm not going to watch it.
I tried all of those.
Yeah, I did too. And all three of them were like,
Yeah.
nah.
I think for me it was because there's a point where I
Walking
haven't...
Dead, though, I fell off of. Because it got to the point where it was like, I don't see this going anywhere else. Like, in my mind, the story was over.
Yeah, they just keep playing it out.
But they continued for like
Yeah.
4 more seasons. So I chose to stop.
My thing is like always like, do I really want to watch a 120-hour movie?
No. Yeah, I mean,
That's
yeah.
really what it is.
It's a 120-hour movie. If you do an hour an episode for 10 episodes for 10 seasons, that's a 100-hour movie.
Yeah, that's a lot of
Listen,
hours.
dragons and zombies and meth are fucking cool. I don't want to
That's a
watch
lot
it
of
for
hours.
100 hours. Dude, Titanic's dope as
That's a
fuck.
crazy
3
way to put
hours
it.
is perfect.
Yeah, plenty.
You
plenty.
put Titanic through 10 seasons, dog shit TV show.
100%.
You don't need all of that. It's a 100-hour movie.
What did we just watch on the ship?
1899. That was cool,
That
sci-fi
was
style.
11 hours of
Yeah, it's like,
of a
I think
ship.
they're 8 hours, 8 episodes now, 8 to 12.
Oh,
So,
8 for like
8 to 12 hours.
Yeah, I can get that. Like, again,
Like a
I've always
series,
said
like a
TV
series.
shows should go past 3 seasons.
Yeah.
I think 3. If you want to do TV show, 3 seasons.
But I think for
just
me,
get
all
so
those big ones...
But then again,
invested
people
and
have
you
a
don't
show
want
and
it
they're
to
like, oh my god, I would never
end.
take back those 9 seasons of You.
No,
or
it's
whatever
because
they watch.
people talk about it so much,
There are
like
9
in those big
seasons
ones.
of You.
4. I just made that up. I just was just like,
I could. That's
Breaking
one
Bad
I
for
watched
me.
3 episodes and was like,
Out.
not for me.
yeah.
Breaking
Couldn't
Bad
do
for
it.
me, it was just...
Couldn't get
You
it.
told me everything. I know everything.
Again, I don't want to
Me
watch
too.
100 hours of a guy making meth who has cancer. Cool. I
Like,
mean,
how many
I get it.
different-
Great actors, good stories, beautiful cinematography. I don't want to watch it for 100 hours.
Yeah.
That's a lot to invest. That's
But
why I'm a
then-
movie boy. Give me 2.5 hours of a good story, beginning, middle, end, done. Mm-hmm. Perfect.
Yeah.
Seal the
I don't
deal,
know.
sum it
I
up.
like to blow my load quick.
It's weird because I say that about Breaking Bad. Like, I don't want to watch that much of that. But it's because, again, couldn't connect to it.
Yeah.
But then you give me, like, How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
There were, I don't know how many seasons of that.
There's a lot.
I watched it, like, 3 or 4 times. The whole thing, all the way through. Because
Yeah.
I loved it.
Sometimes, too, lighthearted shit is easier to get through. Like, that 70s show for me, like, was
Oh,
easy just to
love it.
watch.
Just to put on.
You put on in bed at night
up
and
with
lay and
some-
watch 3-4
keep up with
episodes and
who,
pass
with who.
out. You didn't have to pay too much attention because if you missed a little detail, it wasn't like, wait, who the fuck is that guy?
Yeah.
It was just kind of like funny, relatable, laughable. But lighthearted shit, I
Yeah.
think, is easy to follow. When it's intense and it's serious and you have to really pay attention to every fucking thing.
Did you ever watch Are You Afraid of the Dark?
No.
That was on Nickelodeon, I think.
I remember it, but I
Are
didn't
You
watch
Afraid
it.
of the Dark? It was like kind of like a Goosebumps kind of thing vibe.
Yeah.
I think like
I
one
never
of the
watched
first
that.
one of the first like
I was
episodes.
a Disney kid, though.
Yeah, no, one of these first episodes, it was like this family moves into this new house and there's a next door neighbor, right? Like that lives in the house, but she like this kid sees like a person in the upstairs window and goes up there and like climbs through this door and it's like a whole nother house, like a fake, like weird house.
Like a house inside the house?
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
you realize it's like a dollhouse inside of the house, and that a girl like got trapped in there, and she was like, and you turn into a doll if you stay there for too
I
long.
feel like I've seen that.
And they're like her porcelain hands like crumble,
I feel like I've seen that.
and she like has
I
to
don't
get
know
out.
why,
She
but
starts turning into a doll, like
I feel like that's more than that, though. Like, that storyline I've heard and seen before.
it's
But
Are
I'm
You Afraid
not-
of the Dark? I promise.
It's a movie?
No, it's like a TV
See,
show.
and I feel like I've seen what you're talking. There's a movie where there's something like that,
There's like a house that they go in
but
and...
it's like a scary movie.
Yeah. It's like,
And like a mouse crawls onto the bed in the dollhouse, but then it happens in the real house, and the real bed's like going crazy with some like demon mouse. I don't know.
How about House of Wax
stop.
with Paris Hilton?
Hit the dab rig wax.
You seen that?
Yeah, when they
House-
cut the Achilles tendon through the floorboard.
Stop.
That's the part I was thinking
worst
of.
part of the whole
Snips it.
movie.
Because you wouldn't feel it, then you'd be like, why does my ankle feel
then
cold?
you
You go
couldn't
take a
walk.
step and you'd be like,
And then Paris
Literally,
Hilton
I
just
was
impaled.
I was probably in like 4th grade when I watched that movie unattended. Like,
Just
You were
the
traumatized.
only thing I remember from that movie is that
And
That's it.
it's that scene
Burn into
specifically.
your
That's
head.
the only one. And then there's one scene too where it's like a window scene of the guy of like popping up through the window. He's like watching, but then he's not there. And it's like those two scenes that have been engraved in my brain since a young girl. And shouldn't have watched
There's
it.
a couple to that
I
one.
feel like I would have been okay without having seen those like two
There's
things.
another
The
one.
Achilles. I like tiptoe around in the dark because I'm scared somebody's gonna like
Snip you.
snip my Achilles, and then like the window mirror kind of stuff freaks me out because
You're
that's
like,
just
why
like,
are you afraid of dark? Well, like Jeepers Creepers, duh. I mean,
I
you
was
never
too
know.
young. I
don't
was
let the
too
thing grab you
young.
at
never
night,
know
baby,
he's
outside
gonna be
that
there.
church.
No, the only other one, like, scene I remember, I think, is, like, because they would, like, encase the victims in wax. Right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, like, it was, like, a person who had been, like, knocked out unconscious and then covered in wax. And they were, like, they were, like, stuck in the wax, right? And then I think someone, like, the
It was
the
on
creeper,
fire. The whole place was on
the
fire.
murderer, like went to chop at someone else and accidentally hit the person on the cheek, and it was, like...
Oh, and
And
it
you
bled.
could see, like, you could see, like, the blood, and the person was like,
It's crazy because like that movie, when you mentioned that, all three of us were like immediately on the Achilles tendon.
100%.
And I can't tell you another thing from that movie. Like if you were like, there's 20 things on this
The
board,
pole.
pick the things out that happened in that movie. That's the only one I know for sure. I'd be like, I know that happened.
So
Other than
one thing
that,
It was
remember.
the whole thing.
Paris Hilton
Everyone,
impaled.
yeah, that was the thing.
The only other thing I remember is, like,
remember
a
that.
feeling of there was an opportunity, I think, where they, like, got the vehicle to work or something again, and they were like, we can
Classic.
leave, but then they were like, well, we can't leave, we have to go back, and
get Jason.
or something like that, right? And I was like, I think there was,
He's
like, a
stuck in
perfect
wax,
opportunity
man.
to say, like, yeah, they're probably dead. It's like, what, 2 or 3 of you, you should probably just leave, and they didn't.
Hey, if I'm ever enclosed in wax and y'all got the van to start, leave me, baby. Just go.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm already
write
in the
me off.
wax. Just go.
Write me off.
I'm good. I won't. First off, I'm not making it out of there. I'm in fucking wax. Second, if I did, I wouldn't be like, damn, man, y'all left me. I'd be like, yo, I would have done the same goddamn thing, dude. Get out of there, dude. Go get help. Take that van to the next town, get the cops, and,
And then
send the
come
FBI.
back. And then come back.
Right.
Send the damn National Guard in there. They ours.
Because you could be in wax for a couple days easy.
100%.
I don't.
You're like, it's...
No, you don't have any air. You didn't poke nose holes
But
for
let's
them.
say you had nose holes, you could be in the wax easy,
He
right?
put straws in their nostrils and then let it out of the wax so they could breathe. You know how much poop would be in your body from not releasing it? You'd be like, oh
Oh my
shit. They cut you out of the wax and you
God.
just immediately just,
Ugh. I wonder if,
just
like,
shit your pants everywhere.
I wonder if you wouldn't even have to, like, stand up. You could just, like, sit on the wax, like...
Oh yeah, you're not using any muscles.
Yeah,
you're
you're
just
just
like
like-
chilling. Actually,
There's
it's probably the most
probably
uncomfortable
a
death of all
stand
time.
in
You're
your
like,
butthole to keep you.
You're definitely
upright.
buttholed up.
she hit him with
You
the
just-
butthole stand.
yeah, so, like, it looks like you're standing like a
she's
mannequin.
everybody. She's just like putting them on display in Target. Like,
Yeah, you can totally sit.
Their feet are, like, not really on the ground all the way. They're just like...
she's like, damn, I really like them jeans. And he's just like, please get this pole out of my fucking ass.
Ew.
But hell yeah, man,
much.
dude. Thank y'all for the fucking
caffeine.
espresso martinis, the espresso, the caffeine, the jolt, the buzz, the pictures of
It's real.
being pole shoved up my ass and my Achilles tendon being sliced at the same time. This is a hell of an opportunity to just,
Yep.
experience all those things on a bunch of caffeine.
That's right.
Today's episode is sponsored by, we're sponsored by a good old fashioned Dunkin' Donuts, dude. Listen, we may not have visited there today to get some caffeine, but don't let them fool you. We all know what America runs on, and it runs on Dunkin'. It doesn't run on any type of Star Boys that let all these type of dirty people sleep inside.
Yeah, dude, keep
It
your
runs
coffee
on
clean.
Dunkin'. So if you download their mobile app today and you add to the 2 for $5 breakfast sandwiches, you'll get, if you use promo code ULTRA, a free tall not venti, because they don't play that game. Tall coffee to your cart. And you don't even have to use the word tall. You can use large, medium, or small. They're a traditional company.
They'll give it to you large.
They're about everyone using the words that they want to use. They won't single you out or make you feel bad for not using the words that they want you to use when you order the coffee that you want. They won't look at you like, you mean venti? So, download the Dunkin' Donuts app today. Add the 2 for $5 breakfast sandwiches, whether it's sausage, bacon, egg, cheese, veggie patties, whatever you want. And use promo code ULTRA in checkout on the mobile app. It's got to be in the mobile app, and you will be able to add any large coffee that you would like. And you can be caffeinated like us and be like, hey man, good to see you, good to see you, good to see you, good to see you. So hey, Dunkin' Donuts, download the app in your app store, whether it's Android or iPhone. Use promo code ULTRA when you add the 2 for $5 breakfast sandwiches and get yourself a free large coffee at checkout using promo code ULTRA.
That's what Americans do.
UltraWisdom.